Okay, what do you got? What's up?
Pete, what was your reaction to Michael Bennett today with the police in Las Vegas?
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing it up right off the bat. Michael Bennett unfortunately experienced a horrendous incident on August 27th, and we're thankful that he's safe, and we take this opportunity to say that we stand in support of him and anyone facing inequalities. What happened with Michael is a classic illustration of the reality of inequalities that are demonstrated daily. And may this incident inspire all of us to respond with compassion when inequalities are brought to light, and allow us to have the courage to stand for change, because we can do better. We can do better than this. So.
When did he first tell you about what had happened? How soon did you find out?
It was the next morning, I think.
What was that conversation like?
Well, he just explained to me, really it was very emotional, and he was trying to convey, he couldn't help but convey, what had taken place and how it affected him and how he was really so changed by it.
What, in the meantime, since it happened, what were the considerations for him, the team, and what was being
He's been
discussed?
working on, how to take the next step, and he's anxious to kind of take this next step. He's been kind of holding on to this for a while, and so I think this will help him at this point to make sure that it's out there and he's made a statement and all.
How have you noticed it affecting him since then?
It's been on a topic for us. You can tell it's hanging with him.
Physically, was he okay after that?
Yes.
How often have you had a player experience a similar situation as this that you had to deal with?
We've shared stories over the years. There's been stuff that's happened enough, more than I like to count. So yeah, we've been through these topics before. This one was very dramatic, and Okay. Go.
Pete,
Yes.
with Green Bay, is it good to have a matchup against a team that's that traditionally tough, or has been such a good opponent for you right off the bat?
Yeah, I can just tell you, we have so much respect for them and the way that they've played over the years, Mike's team, and their whole makeup of their club and the success that they continue to show. That it's a pretty darn good matchup right off out of the chutes, going to Green Bay, which is as difficult as any place you could play on the road. So we haven't had any trouble being tuned in. We've been tuned in since I guess the schedule came out.
How has Earl looked to you over the first month of preseason and training camp?
Well, Danny, he's looked as good as he's ever looked. It seems to be in the best condition I can remember him in the last 4 or 5 years anyway. His quickness, his stamina, his strength, his focus has been great. He really, once he, I might have said this earlier, once he turned the corner on, okay, I got to get well and get back, he has been doggedly determined to make it back to full speed, better than ever, which is all we could ever ask for. And so it's been startling somewhat that he caught our attention so early, well ahead of schedule, and then he's not missed a step throughout.
Besides the absence of Earl in the last matchup with Green Bay, what stood out to you most about that outcome?
We turned the ball over like 5 times or something like that. You can't win. You can't. It's so hard. Maybe it happens sometimes, but I think it was at 5 or whatever. That the ball was so out of hand. That we didn't have a chance. We did some good things in that game, but when you give them the football that much and you give them that many opportunities, a good team like them, they're just going to take it, and they did it, and we didn't give ourselves an opportunity on that night.
What do you think it is about playing up there, the way you guys have struggled over the years?
Well, it's kind of historic that it's pretty darn hard to play there. They're great there, and they fit very well with their crowd. Just everything about it has, makes it difficult. It's as hard as it gets in any sport to play, in that venue. So it's just kind of built into the fabric of the whole place.
What's Thomas Rawls' status for this week?
He's probable right now, and or check that. He's questionable right now, and we're going to see if we can move him up as we go through the week.
Guys, have you decided who's going to start at running back on Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's it going to be?
Wait and see.
What's the nature of Thomas's injury?
He's had an ankle. It's been a lingering high ankle that hasn't quite subsided yet. He's really close. He practiced Monday, and we're trying to get him back, and we'll see how it goes.
How has it, if Eddie Lacy has to kind of take a primary role there, how do you view him right now? What would you be able to
First
see?
off, he's ready. He's had a great run with us getting to this point. He's done everything we've asked of him. He's for weeks and weeks now. He's made every practice. He's been able to do everything, every rep that we've offered him. He's conditioned well. He's prepared to play. We've seen him for years. We know what kind of player he is. So he's had enough glimpses of the look in preseason that you can see him get rumbling with the football. So we're fired up about him playing and really feeling he's ready for a full load.
Do you think he's at the point where he could do 20, 25
Yep.
carries? There was a report from ESPN that he had another weigh-in today. Did he make his target weight?
Eddie's doing great. He's done everything we asked of him.
Chris Carson, how comfortable would you be with giving him a significant carry?
I feel comfortable with that. I got no problem with Chris. Chris has really been fantastic throughout, and we're anxious to see him play and contribute and see what he can do. He's done everything from the passing game, pass blocking, running, special teams. He's really been a big factor and an enormous positive for us.
How does that dynamic change? Because he was getting so many opportunities in the preseason. Now if you've got Rawls in the mix and Lacy, how does that dynamic change among the running backs?
I don't know that it does. I don't know. I mean, you figure that one out, Jen. I don't know. We're just going to go play football and do what we need to do. And as always, and kind of historically, that if we got multiple guys playing the position, we're going to wait and see how it goes and see how they play and see who's hot on that day and try to call it and look forward to see whatever that that unveils to us. We're very fortunate to have the depth and also to have CJ ready to roll as well. We're in good shape, right? We're in really good shape right now.
Is CJ 100%?
Yes.
Okay.
When you look at Green Bay, they have Ty Montgomery, who's a converted wide receiver, and he's not only physical, but he does have that skill set of being a receiver as well. How do you kind of game plan against a guy like that?
Yeah, he's really a good player. We have tremendous respect for him, and to see how he emerged so quickly, in the running back role after coming in as a receiver, that it gives us all of the problems, matchup wise, the multiplicity that they present in formations and things that they can do because he can run routes just like a receiver and then carry the football. Cobb does some of that for them as well, so they're a very difficult group to zero in on.
Was the defeat at Lambeau last year because it was more than 10 points? That was a point of pride, you guys.
It's not something we've ever talked about.
You're not going to reference it this week.
No.
You've talked about how Shaquill Griffin seems to have the right mindset to play on the other side of Richard Sherman. What exactly do you mean by that?
He's really poised. He's a guy that shows me that he knows how to focus day to day on what's at hand, and whether he's in the meetings or the walkthroughs or practice. He's always tuned in. He's very open to learn and ask questions. He battles on the practice field. He shows you every day. He hasn't had a day that he didn't go out there and battle on the practice field and on the game field in the games that he's played. He's played quite a few plays. There just has not been anything but positives. He's just been solid as a rock throughout. So I think that the game, the Minnesota game, I think when they got after him a little bit, the ball went his way a number of times. I think it's maybe 6 or 8 balls thrown at him in a half, was a really great indication to watch him. I was really tuned into him, how he was handling it play to play and sequence to sequence, coming off the sidelines, and he was great. He was great. So that's important, and he was able to answer the call in the game when they were coming after him. If you remember, he knocked a couple balls down the field and did some really good things in the midst of the focus that they were putting on him. And that was a great illustration. I think probably that was kind of the culmination of making that evaluation. Okay, he's ready to handle it here, and that's all he could have shown us, and he did a good job with it.
Is there a certain short-term memory that a young cornerback has to have?
No, yeah, there is. Whether you're a young corner or an old corner, you got to have a memory that you can blank stuff out and kind of categorize it properly so that it doesn't affect the next play that happens for certain. And he seems he's handled things very well so far.
captains were named yesterday. What do you think of that? Four players, obviously, have Bobby and Cam as coach, defensive captains, just in general. What do you think about that?
It's a fantastic group of guys, and recognized, three of those guys recognized again from last year. I think the players vote on that, and I think again they've really recognized the guys that really do everything that we want them to. There's other guys in our program too that demonstrate tremendous leadership, and that just didn't. The votes had to go somewhere, but. I think Bobby Wagner adding to that group is a fantastic acknowledgement by the players. He is a great team member. He's a tremendous performer. He is just rock solid day in and day out, standing for what we're all about and demonstrating it every day forever. I mean, he's just awesome. And so to add to it with Cam and with Russ and with John, that's I think that's a big statement. I think for one, but I think it's a really accurate, correct evaluation by our team.
Is Tyler Lockett ready to go?
Lock's ready to go. Yeah, now we'll do one day at a time here, but he had a good day Monday. He feels great today. I'm really fired up for him. He's really he's had to be patient, and he's not a very patient kid. He wants chomping at the bit. So he's got a good light about him today. He's ready to go, and we'll put these days together, and with the thought that he's going to be able to play and go and be an integral part of what happens on game day.
Anyone that won't practice today?
Pardon me?
Anyone that won't practice today?
Michael Wilhoit won't go today.
After that Green Bay loss last year, I think there was a consensus that the defense is just not as capable out there without Earl Thomas out there. Do you think that was a fair assessment, or is that overblown?
Well, let's just say that Earl's a really good player. He's really good, and so you take a really good player out of the mix, it's gonna. Then the next guy coming up probably won't be able to stand up and hold up, or he'd be that good too, So I mean, it just stands to reason that it's difficult to match that level of play. You do everything you can, and you try to compensate when you can and how you can, but he's an extraordinary player, and you can't ignore him when he's on the field, and so. We missed him, and we will miss him when he's not there the next time. He's just that valuable.
How nice is it to have a guy like Bradley McDougald back there, especially when you're going against a team that's going to throw as many weapons as Green Bay is, and as many different types of weapons as Green Bay is going to.
Yeah, I've been thrilled with Bradley. He is he's a consummate pro. He's battled his whole career for every step that he's had to make, and he's earned his way, and he's done it again here. He can play for us, immediately. I mean, in any situation we call on him, and additional situations and supplemental situations and all, he can do everything that we need him to do. We're very fortunate to have him, and big contributor in special teams as well. Just a fantastic team dude. So he's really, we're very fortunate to have him.
How has Richardson fit in so far, and what's he going to add?
Well, this is day 2, so I can't tell you, and we're not even there yet, all right, so I don't know. But I do know that he brings a good attitude about playing football. He loves the game. He's serious about fitting in and not getting in the way of what's been going on here, and then looking to add. He knows he can play the game, and he's got a lot of confidence about him, and he's anxious to see how it can mix with the other fellas and complement, effectively. Our guys, they're hanging out, they're talking, they're having fun with one another. He's been introduced to the team in good fashion, so they have a good sense for him already, and I can't wait to see him mix with us. I think he's going to be a fantastic addition.
We've heard so many of those new guys coming in. Just talk about the vibe around the team, the energy, the way that the team embraces the newcomers.
Yeah.
Does that help reinforce that you are on the right track, or that the team is where it needs to be, just as far as a culture and an environment?
I'm glad you bring that up, Jen. It's fun to watch guys come into our building, and to see how they respond, and to see how, if it's obvious to them that something's going on here, then you guys will have more fun. Ask those guys, ask the new guys, what their opinion is. But it seems to happen regularly, and I know it's a big deal to us for our players to open their arms to embrace the guys that come in, because they're on our team, and we're counting on them from the word go, and we need to make sure and accelerate that and enhance that as soon as we can. And so our guys know they want to win, so the best thing they can do is help these new guys fit in and feel comfortable and all of that, and teach and show them the way. And so that's specifically part of the message on Monday to our guys. With the new guys coming in, that the responsibility falls on the shoulders of the older players that have been around here to make sure that this transition is as smooth as possible and as effective as possible. And so it's not hard when you think about, we're just trying to help these guys be the best they can be, and we're going to love them up and care for them. That's what the players do as well. And I think it's pretty obvious. And now how effective we are, we'll see. See how those guys fit in and all that. But I know we're on the right track. And finally, I do think it's a statement. I do think it's a statement of where this team is. We're ready. We're ready to go, and they're fired up about this opportunity. We know it's a one-season shot, and we got one day. It's today, and then it's one game this weekend, and then here we go. They've been through it enough, and they really are tuned in to try to max it out, and that's all we could ask at this point.
Did he get a basketball test?
No, he has not. I haven't seen a shot yet.
Anything else?